Okay, so Keir Starmer and Angela Rayner have both been cleared by Durham Police of the Beergate scandal because Durham Police say there's no case to answer for. But let's look at what they did here. During peak lockdown, when everyone else was stuck indoors, you could only go out for essential items or for essential work. Keir Starmer, the leader of the Labour Party, and Angela Rayner, they both met up with other people who came from elsewhere to a building where they all mingled, had beer and curry. And as we saw through a leaked video, nobody was adhering to the social distancing rules at the time, and no one was wearing any masks. And what they did was basically no different from Boris Johnson's number 10 Partygate. Except with Partygate, everyone mingled with everyone who worked under the same roof. There was nobody from an outside agency. There were no people from outside Downing Street coming in to mingle and have drinks and break social distancing rules. These were people who worked under the same roof in the same building. I mean, the Chancellor at the time, Rishi Sunak, give the devil his due, he got fined by the police for having a drink of water in his office. Meanwhile, the Labour leader, the leader of the opposition, Keir Starmer, and Angela Rayner, the vile Angela Rayner, they get off scot-free. It's all a bit convenient, isn't it, that the investigation and the results of which end the day after Boris Johnson resigns? Because I suspect had Keir Starmer and Angela Rayner had that fixed penalty notice, that fine, by Durham Police, then they would indeed have had to have resigned, as they promised they would. And it'll take a bit of the limelight off Boris Johnson leaving and all the alleged evil he has done, basically his lies, and the fact that he was shit in office. Plus, it was really a bit of pressure, a lot of undue pressure on Durham Police, because by Keir Starmer saying, I will resign if Durham Police dare to find me guilty, that put a lot of pressure on them. They would have been vilified by the social media, Twitter, the Twitter hate mob, and the mainstream media of getting rid of the only person who could possibly replace Boris Johnson and stand up to him and be his opposition. So all this finding Keir Starmer and Angela Rayner, it's a bit suspect to me, because after all, he's just avoided a fine, him and Angela Rayner, for attending a pre-planned curry and beer session hundreds of miles away from his home. How the hell has that happened? How has he avoided that? Because to me, anyone like myself or you, it certainly looks like a classic breach of social distancing and lockdown rules. Remember, the mainstream media and everyone rounded up on Dominic Cummings because he buggered off to some castle or to get an eye test, and that was hundreds of miles away from home. And for Keir Starmer to tweet that Partygate was all Boris's fault because he's the head, of Downing Street, the Prime Minister, head of the party leader of the Conservatives, so responsibility stops with him. However, remember Keir Starmer and Jimmy Savile? Well, while Keir Starmer wasn't the reviewing lawyer, he was the head of the CPS at the time the police submitted a file against Jimmy Savile. And the decision was obviously no charge. However, there were further inquiries the police should have carried out, which the CPS identified and should have asked them, but they didn't. And so the Jimmy Savile file was destroyed. Starmer admitted mistakes were made, allowing Savile to carry on. And so, in his repeated attacks against Boris Johnson about leadership and taking responsibility, it can clearly and obviously be argued that Keir Starmer did indeed let off Jimmy Savile because he was head of the CPS at the time. And this is the kind of stuff that the mainstream media won't put to their favourite politicians and celebrities and prominent left-wing people. They just don't bring these people to account. So there we go. Looking at it from my point of view and what's been presented, I think Keir Starmer did indeed break lockdown rules, but it certainly wasn't convenient for the leader of the opposition to get done for the same thing as a big villain of the moment, Boris Johnson. I smell a rat. It's all suspect to me. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Do you think it's all a massive hit job on Boris Johnson, where everything and everyone seems to have now conspired against him to get him out? Or is it just the natural order of things and, we should just observe and move on? Let me know, and until my next video, please comment, share, subscribe, and Roger Trout.